Welcome back everybody. A lot of the videos that I've been making in the past week or two have been about the cost of living crisis. It's a topic that hits hard with almost everybody because no matter whether you're rich or not, no matter whether it affects you or not, I think everyone can acknowledge that the price of everything is going up, especially in this part of the world. That leaves a lot of people with a lot of questions, and it leaves a lot of people looking for a lot of solutions. Everybody can acknowledge that you can have a cheaper life abroad. It may not be to everybody's taste, but there are some people out there, and some of you guys watching this video, who may genuinely be more suited to a more chilled, relaxed life, where yes, you may earn less money, or you may need less money, but you have the lifestyle that you want. The big question that I've been getting in a lot of my videos is, well, it's all well and good talking about the cost of living crisis, but how does anybody actually escape? And this is what I want to speak about today. I want to speak about what I think is the most important things to consider when considering leaving countries. I'm not going to be talking about like the social element or anything like that. However, that is potentially even its own video. I want to speak specifically about money. Because a lot of people say, how do I get the money together? And a lot of people get the money together, go out to somewhere like Thailand, and they come back after 6 months to a year because they can't afford it anymore. Because the secret or the solution is making a recurring stream of income. And then people start to ask a different question. Well, what is the best stream of income that I can make? People approach me, friends, and even people on YouTube like, you have this business, you've tried this, you've done this that's worked and this that hasn't. What is the best way to make money online so I can move abroad or even just work remotely in the UK or whatever country they're in? And this is something that I think we need to speak about because this is actually the most important part of any of the ideas and processes that we are covering. Because here's the thing, let's take the visas out of the equation. Let's assume that no countries need visas and you can freely travel anywhere in the world and move there long term. We'll assume that all restrictions on, rights and movement are non-existent. You're still asking the wrong question because you do not have the money to facilitate the move, right? That's like me worrying about whether I'd have my Lamborghini in red or green when I can't afford it. You're worrying way further in advance. If you've got no money and no income, that's way more of a concern, or should be way more of a priority than worrying about visas or countries. So let's get onto the topic then. What is the best way to make money online? What are the best ways that I have discovered? And is it realistically feasible that you can run businesses? Because people always say to me, if you do eBay or YouTube or Amazon or whatever, all these different things that I do, they all come with their own risk. And that is exactly the point. First things first, the lifestyle that can be provided by working online is one that almost no other lifestyle can give. People highlighting risks is something that to me just seems stupid. There's risks of working a 9 to 5. There's risks of owning a business. There's risks of not working at all. It doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, there is obviously going to be risk. That is a fact of life. So how do we then mitigate the risk? Because especially if we're thinking about moving abroad, we don't want to find ourselves halfway around the planet or halfway around Europe and then find ourselves, hit by, monetization issues on YouTube or have our eBay account suspended or any of these sorts of things. And this is where everyone goes wrong. Now, even if these countries are cheaper, they're not going to be free. And wealthy people, most of them do not have one stream of income. So when we talk about streams of income that you can build, a job is going to be good either A, if you're happy with it, B, if you want to live in your current location, C, if it is location flexible, i.e. maybe you work online or maybe you have the opportunity to, and you can speak to your company about moving abroad. But even then, if you're moving abroad and you're working for the company abroad, why don't they pay somebody in some of the places that we're speaking about to do the job for the wages of that country, rather than paying you British wages or American wages to work in Thailand or the Philippines? Why not pay someone from the Philippines to do it for like a tenth of the price? So even that is a risk. Even a job is a risk. The way that we mitigate risks in building revenue streams, this is not even about moving abroad. This is just, to me, common sense. We make as many as possible. And this is where everyone goes wrong. YouTube can make thousands of pounds a month. I've done it in the past, right? I'm not there on this channel, but I have done it in the past. eBay can make thousands of pounds a month, maybe even tens, because we're getting to that point now. I'm doing that as current. Amazon can make thousands of pounds a month. I've not done that yet, but we're building sales slowly. So we all know these businesses can work, but they all present their own different risks. Before you think about even moving abroad, like I say, it's the same example that I give of trying to spec my Lamborghini in red or green when I can't afford it. Before you even think about moving abroad, try and build at least, I would say, 3 or 4 income streams. And that is my humble opinion. Because think about it. If I relied on eBay, let's say, even if I was making £10,000 a month, you're not as secure as you think. Because just like in a job where you can get sacked, the same is true online. And I've said it before, everyone likes to overly romanticize the idea of working online because you can be your own boss. Sales can dry up. You can get banned from your platform. You can get demonetized. People can stop subscribing to your services. These are all risks. So the aim of the game is risk mitigation. I think anyone who's making no money online needs to start with one income stream. And this is where everyone goes wrong. I'll give you an example. I've been doing eBay now for over a year. It's only after doing eBay for over a year and building my revenue to around, it was actually 8.3 thousand last month. Profits might have been, we're still averaging things out. Things are getting returned. Things are getting sent off. I think profits are going to be between £2,000 and £3,000, somewhere in that range. It might be like 2,300. It might be like 25, 26, 27. I don't know. We'll see. Even as someone who's making that amount of money, I had to do that first. It took me a year to get the eBay to a point where I'm kind of happy to start something else. And the analogy that I'll give is like learning languages. So if I am trying to learn English, Spanish, Portuguese, Mandarin, all these different languages at the same time, I'm probably going to make less progress because I'm not giving one of these my all. You'd really be better off giving your all to eBay or Amazon or high ticket sales or, I don't know, affiliate marketing. I don't know what it's going to be for you guys. Maybe you're teaching English to people online or something like that. Focus on one first. Because if you've got no money coming in, you're not an online expert. Why focus on 6 things when you don't know how to do one? All you're going to end up doing is wasting your time. And I don't say that to be rude or mean. I've been that guy, right? Like I say, it's only now that I'm properly grinding YouTube. It's only now that I'm properly grinding Amazon as well. Because yes, I've done these things in the past, but I needed to get one realistic income stream. So you build one up, and then after maybe a year or 6 months or 3, it depends how hard you're grinding, right? You will be a master enough to really perfect your craft. So for instance, when I started on eBay, and when a lot of my clients who I teach on Patreon, people say, how do I reach out, to me to find out about my businesses or to run a business themselves? Link in my bio to my Patreon page. Send me a message. Anyway, a lot of my clients, when they start out, are listing items at a speed of maybe 1 item every 30, 40 minutes. After working with me and obviously after perfecting the craft themselves as well, a lot of my clients, in fact, there's not anyone that I've spoken to who's not taken it seriously and hasn't got their listing time down to between 5 and 10 minutes. So a process that used to take 30 minutes is now taking 5 to 10. So they can do however many in the same time. So in the early stages of working on any business, you're probably going to be grinding it out. Like YouTube, for example. When I started this channel, I might have uploaded 1 video a day and it'd get like 2 views because I was a new channel. Now I can upload as many videos and get maybe 50 to 1,000 views per episode because people already know. And that's when you can take your foot off the gas a bit. I'm not saying that you should, but what it means is in the early stages, it's grind. And as you start to progress, sales kind of come in naturally in a way. You still need to focus on it, but you get the point. Sales come in and, things pop off and then you get new opportunities. It kind of unfolds. So if you're a first-time entrepreneur or a first-time money maker online, don't go into 3, 4 things at once. Do one thing, get semi-decent at it. I'm not asking you to be an expert. I'm not saying that's necessarily the necessity. Try get to a point where you're making at least a couple of hundred a month, then move on to another income stream as well, because you'll be a lot quicker. And here's the thing. People say, well, I've not got the time. Number 1, do you want to make this dream work, right? Do you want to make this dream work? If you want to make this dream work, you'll have the time. Number 2, when you have a few income streams and a few extra hundreds or thousands coming in a month, you can then start to scale back on things like work. So for instance, right now, I've said this before, right? I am going to keep working my job because for me, I'm not even going to lie, it's a great little social element. It's a great experience into something that I don't want to do, and it keeps me motivated. Like, you can meet a lot of people, but the job's not necessarily fun, and by keeping it gives a little bit of drive. That's not going to be the case for everyone, but my point is you can start to scale back in the hours that you work. So if you're making £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 online, and you have a job, now not everyone, some people have like a set 9 to 5, right? But if you're like me, where you do shift work, just drop a couple shifts, right? Just do like 1-2 days a week, 3 days a week, because you're making more money anyway. Anyway, getting back to the point. Why is having a few income streams essential to moving abroad? Or to even setting yourself financially free? Because I've been in the place before, and, you know, it's just my experience, where you guys have seen the journey actually unfold. About a year ago, I got banned on eBay. I had to make a new account and all of the complications that came with that. So that taught me something that I'd already realised, because I've had like YouTube channels drop off and die. It reminded me of something that I already knew, which was the fact that if you have one stream of income, you're very vulnerable. Whether you're a 9 to 5 worker, whether you're an online entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you want to call yourself, right? If you've got one income stream alone, you are very vulnerable, because market conditions, no matter what industry you're in, sales, traditional work, employment, sales, work could quickly dry up. By having 2 to 3 to 5 income streams, you are quickly mitigating that. So let's say that let's just use an argument. Let's say that my living costs in the place that I am in or want to live in are £2,000 a month. I'm not saying that's realistic or high or low. It's an example, right? If my living costs are £2,000 a month and I'm making £5,000 a month in one income stream, knowing what I know now, wouldn't feel secure enough to go or to commit to that lifestyle, because that could quickly drop off. If I was in a place where I was making only £2,000 but over 5 income streams, and what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, £2,000 reselling, £2,000 doing high ticket sales, £2,000 doing YouTube videos, if we have 5 income streams, not only are we making more money, so we're going to be better off overall, we're also really mitigating our risk. Because again, if our living costs are only 2,000 basic or 2,500, whatever, only one of these is our living costs. This is what we need to live on. All of these, in theory, all of these 3 or 4 can go down and we'd be all right. Now, of course, we don't want to bank on our businesses failing, but risk management is a place where a lot of entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners really mess up. They don't think through at all. And this is what's going to screw you up long term. I think the strongest move that anyone can make is acknowledging, a lifestyle move, if you want to move to Thailand, if you want to move to the Philippines, Singapore, Dubai, America even, a lifestyle move is not something to take lightly. And there is going to be nothing more humbling than having to come back because you've failed. I really am a believer of do it once and do it properly. In the context of this, that does mean that you're going to have to perhaps wait it out. 6 months, a year, maybe 2, 3. But you'll have a lot more assurity and security that you can actually make this work. People will make a couple of grand online on one income stream and they've never done it before. Now, again, I'm not saying it to brag, but fortunately for me, I was making money online from the age of 13. I've seen a lot of trends and a lot of incomes come and go and even come back again and then go again. This is a world of business. The best bet you can do is have as many different and diverse income streams as you can. And I know that I'm banging on about this. This is this is probably one of the more valuable videos that I've made on the cost of living crisis and this sort of stuff. Because again, people are looking for these escapes and they say, well, you seem to be a smart guy. You make videos about making money. What's the best stream of income? There isn't one, is the answer. Now, here is a different way of posing that question. If you wanted to make money online fast or quicker than other income streams, do I have a recommendation? If you ask me that question, then I do have an answer. I'd say that the quickest way to make money online that I've done in my life is eBay. Specifically the platform of eBay, not dropshipping or reselling. eBay is the easiest way or the quickest way that I have seen to make money. That's just what I've done, right? Maybe other people have an easier experience. I've never seen a platform or a place where you can simply list a couple items, a couple hundred items that you've either thrifted or drop shipped. And obviously, because the platform's already built, etc., you just list them up. You don't need to build a Shopify store. Just list them, let them sit there, keep listing, and eventually, in my experience, something does sell. If you want to learn more about that, like I say, I do teach it in my Patreon, link in the bio. But eBay's probably the quickest way that I can think of making money online. If people ask me what the easiest way of making money online is, it'll be YouTube. I've had YouTube channels where literally all I do is film 10 minutes a day. I know at the minute I'm kind of grinding this channel out, but I want to be successful with it. But I've had channels in the past where you upload like a 10-minute video a day, or even, let's even say it's an hour video a day, and you can make up to like £200 a day. The reason why that's not so quick is because you need to build a following. Realistically, before you get into a point, before you're making any money, you're at 10,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm making money on this channel now, but trust me, it's not a lot. You need like 10k subscribers to even begin making any money that you can say, this is money. And at that point, you're only just beginning. And by the way, the grind out to 10k is traditionally very difficult, and that's not changing. So, whilst YouTube might be the easiest, the easiest to maintain, it's one of the hardest to stay motivated with. It's one of the hardest to quit, to keep going, and one of the easiest to quit. Because imagine, right, for example, and I hope you guys are still watching. I don't know, I hope you are. Imagine that you're in my position right now, where you're uploading, 5 videos a day, but your views figures are like 2,000 views a day for 5 videos on all of your channel, where you've got hundreds of videos uploaded. Are you going to keep uploading 5 videos a day when each video might get 200 views? In my experience of school friends, college, colleagues, whatever, everyone who started a YouTube channel like me quit. Then they come back saying, how did you strike it big with YouTube making money? Because I sat through months, if not years, of making nothing and getting no views. It was very demotivating, but you got to do it. Like on this channel, for example, I've uploaded hundreds of videos and I've not even got 1 million views, right? I'm not complaining, it's just the way of the world, but are you going to sit there and do that? And I don't think everybody can. There's nothing wrong if you can't, but not everyone can, and that is going to be a big demotivating thing. So YouTube is not the best for everyone. eBay is not the easiest for everybody. Some people are not going to like the administrative processes. Again, like I say, my Patreon page makes it a lot easier for you to learn. Amazon, same sort of thing. Amazon and eBay are basically tied in the sense that they are the same thing. One might be easier or more user-friendly. Personally, I find eBay more user-friendly. But same thing. Selling stuff on Fiverr, good work. Reselling clothing on some of these vintage sites, good work. But here's the thing. Doing all of these, do you now see how much more of a spread this is? Even though could be the same products on the same market, eBay and Amazon are completely different. Like the customer that is attracted to both or either is going to be a different person. The only times that I've ever placed an order on Amazon in my life, for example, is on the times where I have sent something out to one of my Patreon client, one of my eBay clients myself. So, for example, that's just one example of a platform that I don't use, even though it's got stuff that I want. I might be more partial to use eBay. So that's 2 different customers for the same product, for the same market. It makes it a lot more kind of safe in the sense that 2 income streams. YouTube videos, completely unrelated to any of my other income streams. That's kind of its own little safety net. Any courses and products that I can sell from YouTube are related to this, but they're not related to the reselling business. And then there's other ideas that I'm going to be working on. But like I say, it's like learning a language. Don't learn 6 languages at once. I feel like I've completely or almost completely learned the language of eBay. I would say completely, but you got to humble yourself. There's always stuff that you don't know that you should be learning. I'm slowly learning the language of Amazon. I've known the language of YouTube for a long time, but my skills were a bit rusty in this language, if you kind of get where I'm coming from. You do it all. To cut a very, very long rant or video, I would say short, but we're at 20 minutes. I hope this has not been a waste of time for you guys watching. My point is this. People ask, what is the best online income stream to beat the cost of living crisis? And there isn't one. The answer is them all. As many skills, incomes, money-making ideas that you can realistically do. Which ones do you start off with first? The ones that make the most money as easily and quickly as possible. Start with whatever can make, if you know how to resell vintage clothing, do that first. Yes, it may not be something that you can move abroad, but do it first. Experience what making money online looks like. If you know eBay, do eBay. If you know YouTube or you got a channel, do YouTube. Do the easiest thing first, then do the progressively harder and more challenging activities once you've already got a few streams of income. Doing the hardest and most challenging one first is generally going to be a waste of time. So, what am I saying here? If you want to beat the cost of living crisis and move abroad, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. And this is another one of these conversations. Just like when I say that people over glamorize and overly romanticize the idea of entrepreneurship, the same is true with moving abroad and making money online. A lot of these people come home because they get 10, 15 grand in savings, and maybe they can live like a king for a year or two. And it runs out. And they're back to working a 9 to 5, feeling even more depressed because they've seen what a life in Thailand looks like. Or any of these other countries. I'm not giving Thailand as an example. I'm just explaining. You guys get what I mean here. Anyway, thanks for watching. If this was of any value to you, let me know in the comments. If you have watched until this point, actually, yeah, if you've watched until the end, just leave a comment saying I watched until the end. I don't know if people like these long videos. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for sharing a bit of your afternoon with me. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.